Hey guys, Dark with Cyclone FPV. It is now, let's see, 3:57. I'm 2 hours behind schedule. I mean, this day is just getting away from me. And I promised Mike Lewis from Alaska, I believe, I promised him that I would be working on his quad. And I'm going to do it live. So we're going to go ahead and actually do this. Now, here's the problem. I have a feeling things are going to go wrong with this video. And it sucks because we're going to go live. So obviously, if they go wrong, they go wrong, right? But that's how we do it. I mean, shit happens and that's the way it goes. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to take out, he built himself, I believe he built himself a Sector 5. What's up, Bryce? All is well so far, but this video, things could go south. But anyways, I want to say that he finished his quad on his own. He sent it to us to do the firmware updates and check everything out, make sure motor directions, everything are fine. And I guess we're going to be binding his radio. One of the cool things we are going to be doing also is yesterday during a very late or early morning, about 2, 3 in the morning, live feed I did to show some used stuff. We talked about... he mentioned something about adding music and how to make music for BLHeli32 to upload it for his ESCs. So I went ahead and did that. Hey, Julio, what's going on? And Julio, we got Julio everywhere. So I went ahead and did it, and I'm going to go through a little tutorial on how to do that in BLHeli32. And then I spent the last hour putting in the notes for my own corny stuff to play on his quad, which he may hate. But either way, I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. So here we go. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and let's open up the... oh, and something really cool. I know I thought you guys posted, you probably saw that I posted this to where we can label people's pads, but I'm going to be doing a video on a DJI. I had a customer ask me about an F722, and so I'm going to use my DJI, which I lasered here, by the way, which is basically my say no to fat shark and they can kiss my ass kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing a video on this one and how to hook it up to the F722 just to demonstrate that it is compliant with an F722 that is not DJI, that does not have the plug. I think we got to teach people a few things. All right, but for now, I'll put this aside for right here. Leave that on the video just so we can have our little no to fat shark moment. And I'm going to get started by opening his quad up. Has been wrapped. I mean, this is going to take me. It's like Fort Knox here, but nothing we can't handle. Nothing we can't handle. Well, I say that. My God, there's more layers. Hold on. Let me get a knife. All right. So let's see what we got. Stuff's falling everywhere. Good Lord. Okay. Awesome. Plenty of bubble wrapping here. All right. Now, there are some notes that were sent that I need to make sure I pay attention to. I will say, actually, I'm going to go ahead and get my little DJI air unit out of the way for right now. I'm going to put it right there. A few things that I will say is, number one, I'm not a fan of the electric tape on the motor wires. Okay, so... I may change that, although he didn't give me permission to, but I don't like it, and I'll tell you why. What's up, Jesse? Oh, Jesse, you're next. Boys and girls, let me just tell you, Jesse Helms, if you could imagine somebody taking a DJI drone and flying it through Beirut during the August 4th explosion, I would say that his quad still looks worse than that. So he has a DJI, and we're going to do some serious surgery on it. Jesse, that should be coming up tomorrow, so get ready for that. So let me explain to you why I'm not in favor of this, okay? First of all, I like to be able to see the wires, and especially if there's a nick or cut in it from an impact of some sort. Now, I've said this before. There's not a real advantage necessarily to hiding them, especially not under electric tape, because electric tape will bend, right? So and that's pliable, I guess, or whatever the word is. And so you can literally cut a wire without cutting the electric tape. You could hit the wire hard enough and still keep the electric. So I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to take it off. Hey, Joseph, what's up? What's up? Yeah, definitely. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this off. If the customer wants it back on, he is more than welcome to do it. I'm going to use our fabric tape that we use and still leave some of the wire exposed, just because I'm not a fan of this, especially not electric tape. But hey, I used to use electric tape until I realized that I couldn't tell if my wires were damaged. All right, this is going to be kind of a pain. So let me just This video is going to be a little bit longer than I anticipated. And we may get interrupted, guys. It is middle of the day, and my kids have called already, and my wife is out and about. So you know how it goes. If family calls, you guys just have to hang tight for a little bit. All right, so let's see what we got. Now, I don't think that the ESCs, one of the things is that the ESCs were not updated. The firmware was not flashed. That's one of the things that's been sent here for us to do. So I will go ahead and knock that out. I am really happy with the BLHeli32 Mac edition. I'm really glad that they did that. I remember when it was first being tested, we were part of that. I mean, we downloaded it and it was working pretty well. I just tested the new version, or the new update, just now about a few minutes ago. Worked really solid. So thank you for that, guys, and for your continued hard work. All right, so that's two. God, I got 2 more arms to go here. When I can't find the beginning of this tape, it really gets to me. Let me see. Maybe this is it here. All right, so once we do this, we're going to plug this into BLHeli32. We're going to obviously flash it, and then we're going to show you guys how to write the music for it and make your own songs. And there's a couple of cool little resources you can use. But for what I did is I just used a piano and copied and took the notes, copied like what I would be pressing on a piano key, because this is going to drive me crazy. I don't have enough Ritalin in me to take off this tape like it is, so sorry, but it would take a lot more Ritalin than what I got flowing. So let me just get to it here, because this is going to drive me nuts. And Julio, I know Julio Rodriguez, those tables for the shop are ordered. They should be there today or tomorrow or the next day, I think. So we've got 15 of those. I'm really excited to see those come in. Those will be the workbenches for the students and everybody. And there goes my phone. So God bless. I mean, heaven forbid you got an emergency here. Okay. Please don't use electric tape on your stuff. There you go. Just cause. Or at least if you. What up, Angel? Angel, you fry that quad yet? I didn't say fly, I said fry. Don't misunderstand. You put that 6S on there and blow the motors yet, or the ESC? You shouldn't. I'm just checking. Oh look, I found the start of this one, so lucky me. This is actually working. There we go. Okay. And now let's get, oh, darn it. Golly. All right. Whew. There we go. I'll redo those in a little bit. I know, man. It's been a long time. Been a long time, man. I've actually backed off a little bit. I had so much going on with the kids and getting things ready. Hold on. I actually got a text. I need to make sure it's not from the kids. Okay. All right. Let me put my phone down. Here we go. So first thing I'm going to do, and I've got to disconnect. Actually, I don't, because this is running the DJI, so I'm not worried about it. Let me just go ahead and get this quad fired up. And we're going to share the computer screen then. And we're going to check all the settings in here. Just like the customer asked, and we're going to focus on BLHeli. There may be a few things I do off camera when I'm done, but one of the main things was getting this BLHeli set up. So let me do that, and then let me get the, where's my cable? Here we go. Yeah, bro, it's been, oh good, lumber orders placed. That's awesome, Julio. That's great news, man. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. So we're moving along here. Let's see. I'm going to close OpenTX. I had that open earlier, and then I'll share my screen with you guys. Let me open Betaflight. Close this down. Close this down. Bear with me 1 second. All right, Betaflight is up. My music is up. Okay, so here it goes. I'm going to give you the screen here as well, and let me see. How do I want to do that? I will do a big screen of Beta. There we go. Let's just do it like this. All right. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in and connect. To make sure everything is working properly. Wait for this to initialize on my computer, which would be nice. So far I hear nothing, which is not good. No, it's actually not good at all. Wait a minute now. that's not good. All right. Looks like, I'm not sure if this is bricked or not. Nobody told me it was bricked yet, but let's see what we got. Might be. So we have nothing starting in our device manager. Let's try it again. Yeah, we got our solid light, so that's no bueno. All right, so, God darn it, that was not sent to me on this paperwork. I don't believe that was listed as an issue. Thanks for doing this, okay. Have a couple things, check my motor direction. A beta flight tells me RPM filter is disabled. It's not seeing configurator, straight ones. What happened? Why is this not coming on? Let me try something else. Let me switch ports just to make sure. Fourth was good, man. I tell you what, the fourth was good, but I watched a lot of stupid people on the news. And you know what? I said I wasn't going to get into it, but I'm just going to say this one thing. I watched a lot of these dumb young people talk about how they are not proud to be American. And I swear to God, I have never, I can't believe the level of stupidity that I've seen in people lately who are bitching about America and not proud to be American. My God, I heard somebody say it today. They said, I've never seen people hate something but still stay. I mean, hate something so much and still stay. I think we could put some money together. Probably some of that money that what's his name's gaining for his lawsuit that won't happen, and maybe we could use those to buy tickets to fly people the hell out of here. All right, so I do think we're bricked here. I'm going to try to reset this then, because that is not. So give me a second here. Let me see if I can get anything to function out of this at all. And I do not. I'm not getting jack happening right now, so let me see. Oh, wonderful. Well, this is what happens when you go live and you open an RMA and you don't know what the hell's going on. So let me see what. Maybe it's time to take this thing apart. Wonderful. Here we go. It's going to turn into more of a video than I expected, but why not? Anyways, yes, I do hope everybody else had a great 4th, and I hope that those people that do not want to be here eventually move. All right, so this is here for a lot more than this. I'm not sure what happened yet, but okay, that screw is stripped. Let's see this one. Let's see if I can get this one off. That screw's seen better days. It's not coming off this way though. Nope. Wonderful. That's just getting better and better. Wonderful. Mike, we're not going to stay friends if you keep doing this to me. Oh, gosh darn it. I'll tell you what, let's just get back to this, because there's nothing we can do on the computer side right now. Come on. Let's try to get the stupid standoff out at least. There we go. Now we can get this screw and throw this one out and replace it with one. Come on. Alright, so this screw's going in the garbage. Awesome. It took 20 minutes just to get that part done. Alright. Time for the old man glasses. Let's see what we're working with here and why we're not getting past, why we're not even getting into BLHeli, to beta flight. All right. First thing we'll do is we will take off our input here from the ESC. I only want to give this power from the USB. Now let me see what's happened here. Okay. Okay. This sucker looks like it's been through a little bit of fight itself. All right, so just looking at this, a few things we want to point out is these leads, the leads from the wiring here is way too long. And so the problem I would say, I mean, I'm just looking at this because I'm working on it right now, but what I would say was the way this is done, all right, if there's movement here, what you have is you have just enough to be able to actually touch these two together or to touch these two together. And that's not good. So you want to fix that. You don't really want to have it set up like that. Now, we are using, let me see. Yeah, everything else looks fine. Okay, so we'll correct that. We'll just clean that up. Let's get back to our cable here, though, and find out what's going on. All right, I'm not going to turn the computer screen back on just yet until we get to figuring out a little bit more about why this isn't starting up, because that was not in the description here at all. Clean up some of this solder at least. The solder's not bad. I mean, it's not a bad setup. It's just I need to do this piece by piece to find out what's going on. So each time I make a change, I'm going to test this and see. What is that? All right, we're gonna have to clean that up. It looks like there's one of these are threaded. I don't know if it was threaded wrong or what happened, but there's a little bit of debris coming off it, a little bit of metal coming off of it. Only that one's for now. This one looks fine, so I gotta clean that up before that ends up in the motor. Don't want the magnets to suck that up. All right, so what was supposed to be in here for just this, now thankfully I record these so you guys see when I pull them out here, so nobody can say and I think the customer's been very honest, so I don't think that he would ever do that. But boy, does this cover your butt every once in a while. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let's move all the stuff over, and let's wipe down the table now because there's a lot of little pieces of metal here, and I do not want them going into the motors. So let me get napkin here. All right. this somewhere. Just save. What's that? Ooh, that's my wife. 1 second, please. All right. There we go. Okay. So now, let's get back to business here. Go ahead and pull this off real quick. Disconnect the DJI setup. Set that aside for right now, somewhere like right here perhaps. And let's just look at the flight controller. All right, so we'll put it into DFU mode, and that's going to get us back in. What are you feeling for? Okay, so let me show you. Actually, that's a fair question, Jesse. Let me show you. So one of the things, when we get a setup like this, right, where it won't initialize, where we've got solid lights, okay? So why is my stuff crooked? There we go. All right, so what we're looking for is right here, and because I got fat freaking fingers, and I don't know why they don't understand that, but if you look right here, you're going to see these two black buttons. One is for the LED programming, and one is for DFU mode, so that we can get past this and get this back into beta flight so we can start programming again. So what you'll notice here, and I'm going to show you on the computer screen then, which will make it easier, right? So let me do this here. So when I plug this in, you'll see nothing change on my device manager here, right? I mean, we've got nothing, no interaction at all. But and I was just basically trying to get my thumb to press this while I plug this in. And now you'll see on my computer that we now have the second USB option here, and we're in DFU mode basically. So now what I can do is I can head on over to beta flight, and you're going to see where it says DFU right here, and then I can basically go click update my firmware. And I'm going to just go ahead and let me see, where are my HDLRC F722. I'm assuming they haven't changed the target, so let me just do that real quickly, and I'll go back and check to see if they changed the target. Then I'm going to load the firmware, and I'll be able to go ahead. And so now I can get, and now I'm going to flash it, okay? So now, basically, we're setting this up like it's brand new. But for some reason or another, this flight controller was bricked. And it's not starting up when I plug it in, and so that's a problem, which was not on the description. So that's why it kind of caught me off guard. That's why it's also not in the title of the live video. So anyway, so that's how we're getting past that problem. So far, so good. While I'm doing that, though, I do want to see... I'll use my phone for that, because I don't know if the target changed. I don't think it did. But let me just check. HDLRC.com. Well, this is doing that. I can at least check. So let's go to Zeus Stacks. The Zeus 30 by 30. And... let me see if I can find it as quickly as possible without wasting too much time. I believe it's still, yeah, F722. Okay, so it's still the same target. All right, now when I connect, see now I've got my COM port, and if you go back to your, I don't know why this is open. Let me just close that. No. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why this is opening, but I'll close it as soon as it opens. Give me 1 second. I was working on a guy's free sky earlier, so that's why. So now when you go, what we're going to see is now you're going to see under COM ports, boom, there's my stuff right there. Okay, and that's what we wanted. So let's go ahead and click connect, and we're going to apply our defaults. And you see now we got our blinking lights, and everything's looking good, and everybody's happy again. And yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and just start looking here. Let's see, come on. There we go. Okay, so we know, for example, let's see, What was it? There is no GPS on here. I know 4 was DJI. I think 6 is ESC. And I believe 2 is GPS, and I think 3 is VTX, none of which really matter at this point. So let me just go ahead and click save. And now our ports are set up, so we should be good there. Okay, so now looking at this, now everything is back to normal. So now we can start dealing with the rest of this. So I'm gonna go ahead now and assemble this back. So let me just click connect again, make sure everything's good. It's a little sluggish, but that's all right. It could be my computer at this point. Yeah, we're good. All right. Ports are good. Okay, configuration. That's fine. I think I have the. I'm not going to need that right now. And we'll go to serial, and we'll go to S. No, wait, he's using Crossfire. OST is fine. Doesn't have any LEDs. I guess. On for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and click save. Hey, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? Mr. Howit's in the house. Okay, so let me go ahead now and get this back, but I do want to look at something here because I'm looking at the way he soldered his XT60, and I just want to see this because it looks a little... Okay, so I will show you guys, I do want to show you guys a few things here, so let me go ahead and just flip over this here. Just try to, and I know I'm zoomed in here, but there's a reason for that. I want you to look, and again, it's things that you'll like if you haven't experienced it, you will eventually. Is you can look at the solder here, man, and I'll probably put it on the microscope, but you can look at the solder here, and there's a gap, right? So it's, I don't know how to describe it, but it's as if all this solder that I can see right here, there's a gap right under it, okay, and that tells me this hasn't melted, and I'll tell you, not like it hasn't adhered properly to the pad. There's just a ton of solder. You could just take this and stick this right under there and start prying it up, all right? So I would tell you that this is a lot of solder, and what I can't tell is, and I'll look at it in a second. Let me zoom out now. The distance... Sorry, I'm having to look at the screen here to make sure I zoom out properly. Okay, there we go. One of the things that I do want to point out is the distance from here to here. So we have exposed wiring right here. Okay, and again, this isn't like, I'm not trying to say this guy did a bad job or anything. I mean, my God, if you'd seen my soldering jobs in the past, oof, they were pretty ugly. But what I will tell you is that there's a lot of distance here and a lot of exposed, what the hell are they? Strands, a lot of exposed strands. By the looks of it, I don't even know if this strand touches the pad. I think that the ESC has a bunch of solder underneath it, or underneath the strands, and then the wires sit on top of that. I'm not convinced that they're touching properly to the pad. So I'm going to clean this up, and we're going to try to melt it in such a way to where we can see without causing too much of a problem, okay? I see, and he has soldered his capacitor. Okay, yeah, so yeah. Okay, so look how short that is. This was all solder that it was touching to. This is not recommended at all. And so we're gonna try to clean that up. And it's not, look, it's just things that you learn, right? So you do not wanna have a ton of solder in between your strands and your pad. You wanna have the strands touching the pad, right? So let me go ahead, I'm gonna try to heat this one up as well. It's going to take me a little bit of time here. All right, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to, I don't know what we've got going on, but I'm going to do that. And then as far as the capacitor goes, ideally, if possible, and I'm going to check to see why. I don't want to have to pull this whole thing apart, but I am going to check something out here. All right, I can get this stuff on this side. So HGLRC gives you two very, very small pads on the bottom of this flight control, or bottom of this ESC. Yeah. So, and so I would not, connect the capacitor like this. The most important part of this is going to be to make sure that your leads are on the pads. Now, okay, so this is what I was talking about. You can see the ground came off. Look how much solder is still on here. So the ground was sitting on this part. It wasn't even touching the pad yet. But, so what it looks like to me, based on the order of this, obviously, is that, man, I gotta get all the solder out here, is that the capacitors were soldered first, solder was placed on top of those, then the wiring was put on top of that. You wouldn't want to do that, okay? Most important is to get your XT60, your main power, to the pads. These little pieces like this, look how much solder that is. God darn it. I'm going to watch me end up ruining this thing. I'm going to try my best not to, though, I promise. But we got to get all this solder off of here, too. I'm not comfortable with that at all. And this is a very long, this capacitor wire here is extremely long. So let's start cleaning it up while trying to not ruin this stuff. All right. That's look, I'm just going to tap this on the table. That's a bunch of extra solder that wasn't needed. Okay, look, here's another piece right there. So we want to eliminate how much solder we're putting on these builds. In solder, more is not better. So let me try to find something that can scoop this off without burning the hell out of myself. Now, all this stuff's going to fall. I tell you what, I'm just going to angle it as best I can and just try to gently screw pop. And I'm only tapping this here to try to get you guys to see how much solder I'm removing. I would advise you not to tap your soldering iron because it can break pretty quickly. I have a backup here. I used to tap them all the time until I started breaking them like crazy. All right, now the pads look pretty good as far as having a nice layer of solder. One thing you do want to notice though is that if you were to flip this over, which I guess I'll have to take one of these, unscrew a couple of the motors or whatever, but there are pads. God darn it. Here, you know what? Hold on. I need to clean all this solder off. Yeah, the heat shield, we're going to address that in a live video, Matt, probably tonight. So hang tight because I've got you lined up for that one for sure. So all this solder here is unnecessary, okay? And let's just start eliminating how much we waste and how much we use because it will eventually lead to a bad connection. These leads are pretty long. They're okay, but if they were soldered on the bottom, they would have been shorter. So now let's bring this back now that we've removed all the solder from the table. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, I hate to do this. Do not want to do this. I'll tell you what, maybe if I push these screws down, I don't have to. Hold on, I got an idea. What the hell? Why does this have some wobbly jawed connection? So 3 of these have metal fasteners and 1 doesn't. And I'm trying to figure out, I think I got a second part here. I'm gonna see if that's the way they did it. I know HGLRC didn't do it that way, but what I want to know is what the original is because I feel like I would have made note of that had that been the case. Let me pull up this sector. Okay, so yeah, there's no metal. You need to not do this also. Do not use, I'll advise you against this. Man, this is really, and you know what the thing is it's cool. I mean, the guy did good work. He's trying. But I will advise you, do not use metal fasteners under your flight controllers or ESCs or even between them. Try to not use anything that's any more conductive material if it's possible to avoid it. So these are not part of the build from HGLRC, and I'm going to remove them. Okay, damn it, come on, hold on. Where's the right freaking piece? All right. So there is no need to use this. What they did use was a spacer, a plastic one, and that is not present anymore. This one is like the last piece of one. and it looks like it's broken. So we're going to come up with something else, but we're not going to use metal. All right, nothing metallic outside of the screw here. So let me just take this off. This is what the gentleman was using right here. You do not want to use those. Okay, not at all. So now that we're removing the screws, I think we can get to what I need to do anyway, because I can kind of start moving this ESC. Okay, and there are the two pads on. Okay. Forget it. You got me. I'm unscrewing the whole darn thing now. There's no way to get around this. I'm gonna take off these goofy glasses, what I can do for now. All right. Put the motor screws in this little area here. Let's see. Bryce, the weather has been, it's hot like normal, but it's been raining like ridiculous. I mean, I don't remember seeing this much rain nonstop, but every day except maybe 2 days, we've had rain. I mean, I don't know. July 4th was the only day that didn't rain. And we've got thunder and rain and floods. It's good. Keeps everybody on their toes, I guess. But I love the heat, so I mean the heat's good. The temperature's been really nice. We were up to 106, I think, and then 100, and I don't know. I like hot temperatures, so I've been comfortable with that. Yeah, I'm gonna check all the leads here. And the thing is you know, and guys, like I said before, I promise you, is my here. I hope that I have cost myself, and I wish I got to be careful what I say here because my wife will watch this. Well, she don't watch my videos, but if she ever finds out, so let's just say like I could have bought her another car with how much stuff I've broken when I was learning to solder. We're not going to tell her all that. It could be a Kia or a Yugo or whatever. Not a Kia, a Yugo. But anyways, so the reason I look through all these things is because my hope is that if we look at it together and I can show you guys a few things, then you know what, maybe somebody else won't fall into the same trap I did where I end up having to question if I can afford to send my kids to college after all that solder errors. All right, now we've got this turned over. Now we can inspect this. Shut up, Jack. God, you're still alive? Jeez. Everybody, Jack Shaughnessy, everybody. For any of you who don't know, he goes by Jack in the off season and by the Grinch during Christmas time. That is Jack Shaughnessy. Old Man Jack, Krabby Jack, whatever you want to call him. All right, let's see. So, I mean, the motors look okay. I mean, they look fine. I don't see anything. I mean, it doesn't look bad, really. There's just some sharp points, but that's it. But what I wanted to get at was right here, okay? So as you can see, right here on the underside of this, you have these two little dots. Feel free to use those to mount your capacitor to, or to solder them to, all right? And so what I want to do is I want to just check for continuity issues, make sure we don't have any. Okay, so okay, there's our positive, and we do not have any continuity issues. So we'll use the bottom pads, all right, and use that to put our capacitor on. So that'll be the first step in cleaning this up, all right? So let's do that. We're gonna set everything aside here because, I mean, HLRC, I don't know, cuts a frame to hide a capacitor, fine, whatever, but that's not the holy grail by any means. But they want it tucked here, so that's where we're gonna put it. So let's see, we have our positive here. length here. Stupid. Okay, so let's cut this back. Hey, what's up from Bryan, Texas? Man, appreciate you tuning in. We are just going to tackle this job here real quick. Might as well make these leads the same size. Sorry, I'm just stripping these off and trying to keep the metal off the table right now. Here, I just don't like getting some of these clippings. I don't want them on the table. So I'll do my best to just clean them off. All right, so there we go. That's what we need right there. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and tin this up. Flux pen. Put the old man glasses back on. We can drop the temperature back down. Okay, and let's get some solder here and let's tin the board real quick. Ideally, we could have sent this through, but because the top is soldered, it'd be pretty difficult. I'm not sure I can really get that. I'll try it real quick, but it could be a little bit of a pain to try to get this to go through. We're gonna try it. Just try to heat up underneath here and see if I can get this to go. It's gonna be a little too much, I think. I'll try it again. I would like to see this be able to go through and secure itself through these holes instead of soldering these, but I don't think I'm going to get this solder to melt as quickly as I need to in order to get that to work. But we'll try. Yeah, it's not going to happen. All right, so what I'll do is let me just get the solder going here. There's one. Here's the other one. And the way this is supposed to sit, which is really crazy, is, I mean, if you say so, is like this. Okay. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like that at all. All right, let me see if I can get this a little bit better. I'm not gonna get that ground to hold. Darn it. Well, now that the thing is off, I may just try to scoop as much of this crap off as I can. There is a ton of solder on here, so bear with me guys while I try to, I'm not gonna use any copper right now to try to clean this off either. I'm just gonna try to scrape it off as best I can. See if I can get myself to get through this here now. If this does not go, again, I will have to go from the other side, but I'll do it a little different manner than what was done, just hoping that I can heat this up enough to get this to go. Come on. Nope. All right. So what we're going to do is let's work with the Let's work with his XT60 first. Let's see what we've got here. So let me go ahead and try to clean that up. I want to make sure that this gets a full solder to the pad and not just soldered kind of like floating on top of the solder that's on there. So what we'll do is we will add this first now, and then hopefully with the right heat, I need this to not move. This is becoming a mess. But when you solder, you really shouldn't have to put a lot of pressure. If you do it right, it should just kind of melt. So I'm gonna see if we can get this on there. You can tell by the board moving that it's getting some pressure on it. So I'm trying. Give me something a little weighted. Let's try this. There. Perfect. All right, now we're going to do the same on the ground. Again, I'm not pressing too hard. I'm just trying to get it to where it goes through the strands to the pad and not around the strands. I want the strands to spread a little bit just so that the solder goes through all of them and gives me a better connection to the pad. Excellent. There we go. All right. Board's not hot. Still okay. So in case you're wondering, now we're going to let that cool just a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the cap this way instead. Then, since I cannot get through that hole that's there, we'll bring the cap this way. All right. But at least now what we've got is we've got the. I hope this is going to be long enough. That's the thing. How long does this damn thing have to be? This is a big mess. Hold on. All right, so you see here, I should be able to do that, I guess. All right, so let's come up from the center. Okay, let's tin it. Get our flux paste going. And opposite of what was done when it arrived here is we're going to actually, we're going to put the capacitor leads on top of the main battery leads, which is the way to go because you cannot risk the main battery leads, being that they pretty much keep everything moving. So what I'm going to do is we're going to try to push that and then get that into our soldered area as a temporary hold. I'm not looking to finalize it right now. I'm just looking to get a temporary hold here from one of these. There we go. Okay, there's our ground. There's our positive. And my hope is that we can fit this in whatever little goofy slot they left us in the frame, because apparently that was deemed to be a cool design. I do not like it, but it is not. Nobody asked. So here goes. Let me just make sure that this will fit in there before I go and finalize it. And that's big, fat no. Thank you, HTLRC. If I can help it, I will just not mount this damn capacitor at the bottom. How's that sound? So for right now, I'm just going to leave this cap here and figure out where I want to put it later on. Darn it. Stupid. Okay. Mike. No, you didn't screw anything up, Mike. It's just not. First of all, your board was bricked, so I couldn't get anything to work on it anyway. So, and you could go back and rewind. Now, second was the soldering to the power lead. I wanted to fix that. It did not like it. Now I'm going to go with a longer. You watch the video. Hey, Nelson, what's going on? What's going on, my man? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Ah, you got those, huh? Good for you. I'm glad you were able to get them. Those prices I put up there, man, they're crazy. Okay, so now we're going to see if let's just try again, and this time let's just add some extra. We'll get a new capacitor, and we'll make it longer. As long as we can make it so it fits. Okay. Sorry if you guys write things and I don't respond yet. It's because I'm not looking up. There's a lot more work here than I expected, so I'm just wanting to make sure we get this taken care of for our customer. But let me just see where we're at here. Okay, let me go ahead and run the heat shrink on this. I'm going to take this capacitor and put it aside. Out of the build, please. Okay, let's try it again, shall we? All right, there we go. Now, let's see if we can pull this in like this and make it reach. Still don't like it, but if not, then we'll come around the other way. The flight controller was bricked, and the video, Mike. What I did was, I basically opened it and plugged your quad right into my computer, and we had a solid red light the whole time. So we went ahead and put it in bootloader, DFU mode basically, and was able to reflash it and then get it back up to where it was able to be red. So I am going to now remove this capacitor entirely and shoot your drone and basically come up with a different plan, because I'm going to tell you right now that no matter how I do that, I don't like it. So I'm going to just make it do something to where I feel more comfortable. All right, so enough playing with that, because I'm tired of trying to put this stupid thing down there. Thank you, HELRC, but it's a big no. I don't know why. Now, let me explain to you my concern. I mean, look, it doesn't matter, right? So I get it. You know, everybody's got their crap. But let me tell you, I do the RMAs, right? So I see how these things break. So let me explain to you the biggest problem I have. Biggest problem I have is I can't put this thing back out there. I can get it to fit, but this piece right here, this edge right here, it places right against the edge where it turns, okay? All you need to do is either have this shielding lift or rub, and you short it out. I get these RMAs for things like that. So I'm sitting here going, can I do it? And I'm like, you know what, forget it, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I wouldn't do it to my own drone. I'm not gonna do it to a customer's drone. And I don't care if that's how HELRC sent it. It is not how we're gonna send it back, because we want the damn thing to work and last for a long time. No offense to HELRC, and I am they are a big company for us, but we have to call it like we see it, guys. And I do not feel comfortable with that. All right. So we're going to fix this here now. Like I said, we're not going to use metal in our fasteners, so please do not use metal. Mike, in the future, do not use lock nuts for your spacing. Try to keep the amount of metal that you use to a minimum in between your ESC. It's where it compacts the most, especially in a wreck, and you don't want to have anything bad happen. So use like a little nylon fastener like this one. It's 2 millimeters in height. It does the job perfect. There's nothing to worry about with it. So let me go ahead and I'm going to change your stuff out with this. I do not like any excess metal being near any of the components. Matter of fact, I was just telling somebody about that. I don't remember who I was talking to, but maybe it was Jeff. I don't know. Somebody I was talking to, I was like, look, don't put, because your spacers are rubber, right? They're silicone and they compress. And all you need is for it to compress hard enough to where that metal makes contact with any portion of your board and your board's toast. So do not do this. That's all. Little things. And folks, I know people will say, well, HELRC sent it out with that capacitor. Look, I don't care. So please understand that they did that, and it was a big thing to try to hide the capacitor. I don't like hiding components like capacitors, because when they're coming loose or when there's a problem, you can't see it then. And if you ever want to see a cool fire, watch what happens when your capacitor grounds out and shorts out your flight controller or your ESC, and then everything just goes up. So better to have things, at least the things that are most sensitive or dangerous or could cause a problem, better to have those somewhere in your sight so you can see them. So anyway, so we're going to change that. Oh, hey, no, please don't apologize. Can somebody figure out, like, So these two morons that are posting, right, that want to become famous. I don't know how you do that. Are y'all able to block that or do something? Or I don't know. I guess I have to do it. God, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I get that there have to be stupid people that roam the earth. I just don't know why there's so many of them. You know, why can't we be limiting to how much dumb people? These people go post to, what is it? I want to become famous. No, I don't want to become famous. I don't want to be famous for. All right. So, anyways, Mike, there's no reason to apologize. Please, this is a great way to learn, and I'm happy to do this. I know other people will be able to watch this and see also. So, hey, I promise you, if I could show you some of my work, woo, I got stuff that'll make you'll wonder how I'm still here, how my house hadn't burned down yet. I do have my power screwdriver somewhere over there. This is driving me nuts. Okay, I'm gonna go get it. Okay, let's make this move a little bit faster, please. God. Okay. What's going on, Benjamin? Little minor surgery here, nothing too crazy. And then we're about to do some. Oh yeah, Mike, I made you a song for your thing. I don't know if you're gonna like it, but I was getting carried away. So I was like, you know what? Why not have some fun with it? But I really don't think you're gonna. I don't know if you're gonna like it, but if you don't, I'm still gonna leave it on there, and then you're gonna have to learn how to make it. But I'm gonna show you a little tutorial on that before we're done with this. So I figured you asked, and it's super easy to make music in Betaflight, or I mean in BLHeli. So, and then if you have a song that you like, which do I sell it? Of course I do. Yeah, go on our website. Under tools, under electric screwdrivers, you'll find them. This is the dual power. What is the model on this one? My God, I don't know. You'll see it because it's the largest one on there. And then this is the other one I use, right? So this is like the F something or other. This is the one that gets the most use because it's a lot of M2s on this one. And then I use this one. This has a lot of torque, so it's great for the M3s. Yeah, Mike, no problem. I mean, like, I understand it, and I think I can tell you this: your first time building a quad looks a million times better than my first time building a quad. So well done in there. But I do want to correct a few things because the soldering, for example, your main leads were not on to the. You need to remember when you're soldering that your wires, the strands need to touch the pads. Right, you cannot have solder between them because that's not a good connection, and that's where you'll have some problems. Let me see what else. That was pretty much, that's been the main focus here, is trying to fix that first. All right, so now I think we can safely put this back on. So let's try and make sure that we have no issues there. And that is the sign of a good, we're making progress. Okay, so good. Now wait a minute, hold on. Where's my, get this out of my way, please. And let me see, how much room did they allow us with this? Right, so of course once I put this on, let me go ahead and remove that again and make sure this, I believe, is going to run straight underneath. Yep, here we go. Let's do it for a second time now. Okay, everything looks good there and there. Motors look good. Now that to me, I'll take another look here, but that to me is looking better already. Yes. Okay. So that looks good. I'm very happy with the way this has come out thus far. So now what I want to do is put some of these tools away. Oh yeah, no. Oh, just wait. Don't 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 say that. Don't say that because I was I was just like, let me see. It's really easy to make it, but then again, and what's really cool is you can. Okay, you got 3 on the side. I see the big one you just used. What one would you suggest for all around? Okay, so here's the deal. This one, like I said, if you're doing, this is good for torque. They both can handle M2 and M3, right? Man, I don't know. I use them both. If I had to pick one, I would probably go with the smaller one. But I would very quickly come back to this one too. So if you're doing more M2 work, though, I would definitely go with this one. And if you're doing more M3 work, I would probably go with this one. So that's it. I mean, that's the best I can tell you. But yeah, if you're going to go with more M3s, and the cool thing is, like, you know, these come out, right? God, they're in there really good, though. But if you, I don't think I can get a grip on this, but and then they fit. Not this, they fit these. I believe that's it, right? No, this one does. One of them does. Fits the bits, but they've got a bunch of bits that come with them. So I like them both, though. And I guess I wish I could tell you which one. I use this one a ton more, but I like this one for higher torque, like doing stuff like this on this quad. I would not necessarily use this on this quad because I need those fasteners to get down there pretty tight. So this is good for torque. Sorry, I'm repeating myself now. I apologize. All right, let's get back to this. So, where's your arrow? Oh, so it's this way, my bad. All right, let's put that back in, kind of. What I'm gonna do now is let's get the motors somewhat put back in. Cannot see. There we go. One. You got it. Let me know, man. I mean, if you're not happy with it, or if you prefer a if you think maybe you got the other one, no problem. Okay, I'll take care of you. All right, I promise you. So these are they are an awesome item to have. I have really enjoyed using them. So you know, I want you to make sure that you enjoy it. So if you do get it and you're like, yeah, you know what, I think maybe the other one would be better, just let me know, and we'll get you taken care of. They charge quickly. They last forever on the charge. And well, I'm not paying attention here. Sorry. I can't see the damn sun shining in my face. Now that the motors are on, at least temporarily, we can finish the rest of the work. I'll just put this one here for now. There you go. All right. All right, so now let's get to the flight controller. Holy moly. Okay, flight controller, we just got done reflashing. That was good. We are going to wind this up. So let's wind this. Let's get this ready too. We have our DJI wiring here. We have this coming out the back here. And let's see. Perfect. So that sits very nicely there. Good. There's plenty of room here, so I'm actually going to add a spacer. I do not like what I'm seeing in the gap, so I'm going to add a spacer here just in case you have a hard landing. You don't want to compress the two boards together, so let me just add a spacer and make it easier. It's not much really on improvement. The ESC, or the receiver, I already mentioned when I opened this up. All I said was that I think this might be too wide. Yep. All I said was that there's a little too much wire showing, so I would be careful there. I do just want to but outside of that, man, I mean, like overall, no, it's fine. I mean, from what I see so far, it's fine. I think maybe I'll use a fastener here. You know what? I think so, because what I didn't make mention of when I opened this was that you can see that the ESC and the flight controller were sitting at a very slight angle, and that's only because your XT60 wires here are pushing up, so that ESC is not being pressed down hard enough. It's not able to. So I'm just going to add these, which will which will not only help, but it'll also give me a little bit more gap that I'm looking for to keep that flight controller and ESC a little bit more separated. And that's just me being cautious. That's not mandatory by any means, but for me, I mean, it's really silly if you have a 5-cent fastener spacer and it can save you a headache. So we're just going to add that. And this would be a good time to test this, because I can't remember if this is the one or not. But well, I think it is. Yeah. See, they got a little secondary function there, I guess. I'm not going to try to tighten this down too tight, but it helps. Okay. So let's get this one and this one. Okay. That should keep us level. So let me turn the other side around. And it's weird because the heat shrink really doesn't allow for much. These will not, the front ones will not make it flush. But it doesn't matter. I don't care about that. All I care about is that we have, yeah, God darn, there's one screw on here that's really screwed up. And that's this one here. It's been like threaded and re-threaded. All right, let's see if we can get this to go. Okay. Yep, that looks good. One more. We're golden. Okay. See? All right. So the ESC is now pretty level. Everything, it looks straight, which means the flight controller will be straight and level. So we're going to put that flight controller on now and see how it comes out. Should come out looking really good. Here, in just a second. Yep, perfect. And it leaves a nice gap. So, all right. Well, like I said, you let me know if you like it. If there's any issues, I'll be more than happy to take care of you. Don't you worry. All right. So that actually is going to leave a nice gap there between the ESC and the flight controller, which is never, which is always a positive, which is something that you always want to try to see how much gap you can get while still fitting. And the smaller, you know, like these smaller frames, I was having a conversation with a customer earlier in the week about these frames becoming smaller, especially the 20 by 20s, narrower and narrower. And this, you know, the standard or kind of standard used to be 5 millimeters of gap, and all of a sudden it went to 4 and then 3. And next thing you know, it's like you fly, you have one, you know, everybody's thing. It wasn't a hard landing. No, they're always hard landings. I mean, usually they're hard landings, but it's causing them to compress quicker or compress, and there's not enough room left, so you fry your stuff. They're like, yeah, one motor doesn't work anymore. That's because of the fact that these things are so compressed now that a lot of times they're going to ground out, and it's not your fault. I mean, it's just the way the system is. So what everybody wants, lighter and smaller, and you do give something up when you ask for that. All right, let me get this. Something about this one screw here that is not. Oh yeah, it wasn't all the way. But there we go. All right. Okay, this looks a ton better as far as everything that's fitting on here. I'll show you that gap here now, and you can see. So if you look down now, and you got a nice. I mean, you probably have at least 3-4 millimeters there almost. All right, which is awesome. So it gives it room to breathe. You're not sitting on top of that metal heat shrink that really seems to be more for show than for anything else. We'll talk with Matt Howard about that later. All right, so now what we're going to do is we still got to put your capacitor on, which is a task in itself. Find the room for that. Put everything back, and let's see where we're at. Okay. Hey, John Cobb, you have fun, my man. You have fun. Get some flying in. I wish I could fly, but I never get time. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's look at the ends of here. Assuming you wired these correctly, which I assume you did, we will just trim these up a little bit. Okay? You want your wire ends to be about 1 millimeter. I used to say 2 mil, but even 2 mil is too long. I would go 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeters. Okay, 2 mil if you really have to, I guess. That's it. You do not want, basically, you do not want any of the ends to show. You want to have your silicone end of that wire, or the silicone covering all the way up to the flight control. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put that back on. The old man goggles. So, here we go. What's up, Dustin? All right, we'll run this through here as well. Why not? Okay. If I remember correctly, you had white on the outside, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to mimic your wiring with much shorter wires. Okay. This is just not going to be any fun. I think I would have known that by now, but nope. Apologize, folks. I had a little stupid moment and realize now that I cannot put this flight control on until I'm done with the capacitor. So let me go ahead and finish that up real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the capacitor to the side there like you just saw me do, and we're going to cover it, and we're going to put a piece right here which will keep it out of the way but allow it to stay secure and work properly. So let's do that, shall we? Yes. Guys, if you need any heat shrink or anything like that, I've got about 1,000 of these. I've got rolls that are like huge too, so anything you need, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out. All right, perfect. So let's give you a little exhaust pipe looking capacitor. And it got up a neat look right here. So here we go. Try to make it look like an exhaust. Like a muffler, I guess is what they're called. Whatever. I don't know all these terms. Cool. There we go. Give you a little muffler right there. Okay. Now, let's go back to finishing what we were doing. All right, sorry, Benjamin, I didn't even see you. Dustin, this is for a gentleman, Mike. He's actually watching the feed right now. He's out of Alaska, and this is his Sector 5V3. And we're just doing some cleanup work and getting things working, and then we're about to do some BLHeli music creation. So we're going to have a little bit of fun here in just a minute. This was a little unforeseen side work to do before we got to that point, but nonetheless, we are going to have some fun. So I think now, I will wait for the hot glue to get warmed up, but I'm going to get to the BLHeli part now, actually, so we can get going with that real quick. And I can tune these with my, I can load my song on the ESC that I made, which I think is going to be awful too, but it will inspire Mike to make his own, I guess. All right, let's make sure our spacing is still good. Yep. Okay. One last bit of test for continuity. Oh no, the sector quads are good. They're not medium or bad. They're not bad. They're good. I mean, HLRC does a pretty good job of, I mean, they do the best they do the best they can, and I'll say this. Let me say it like this: they do good at putting a quad together. They make the mistakes like anybody else, but once the mistakes are found by them, they will change them if need be. That part I have much respect for them on, is that they will own up to it. They will not just pass it off as being a customer issue, blah, blah, blah. And they've been good for that. So I do like them, and they are one of my best-selling frames, builds, okay? And their frames are solid, man. I mean, one thing I will say is their frames are solid. But the problem is, and I think it's happening with a lot of companies, is like I said, they're squishing so much stuff. They're trying to make all these basically impossible quads. I mean, these are quads that really shouldn't, like they're trying to get in the price point and make them small. I mean, everybody wants to pay less, have cooler stuff, and somehow there's a give. Somewhere there's a breaking point, right? And so that's where I see it, but I'm seeing it across the board. But the sector's a good line. It is definitely a good line. It could take a beating. All right. There's that noise. So now we are finally initialized. I'm going to now kick this on and hopefully not blow something up. Holy crap. I flipped it and my stupid computer made a noise that scared the crap out of me. Hold on. Bad timing. Oof. That's the last thing I need. There we go. Now we're cooking with grease. All right. So that's our startup sound. This is a messy table. Let's clean it up a little bit so we can get some work done here. Where's my bit? There's my bit. Let me put this one away. And now let's have some fun in BLHeli. Okay? So let me see if I've got room to turn this one way or the other. Turn it like this. Okay. And then I'll put my computer screen on for you guys. You guys can see what we're doing. And don't forget, we're coming back to do a DJI install on an F722 board for a customer of ours later. Okay, so let's get to the music part, shall we? Okay, Dustin, no problem, my man. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go to the computer screen. All right, and now you can see we're in beta flight. So first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and test our motor orientation. Make sure that our stuff is set right. So let's go to motors and let's see what we got. Okay, so this is motor 1. Okay, motor 2. Okay, motor 3. Oops, sorry, motor 3. And motor 4. So unless, now that's good, but unless you configured this to spin opposite, which you didn't, hey, my wife's home, all right. So motors are good, but they're just spinning the wrong directions based on here. So what we're going to do, now let's make sure that our setup is right. So up, left, perfect. That's good. So let's head on over to BLHeli. And my wife is home, so I'm going to say hello to her because she deserves that. So give me a second here, just a second. So let's go ahead and connect. And my dogs will shut up a minute. Okay, so first thing that I'll tell you is that we have all the motors are going in a different direction. So what we're going to do first is let's read our setup here. God darn it, we'll stop shrinking on me here. There we go. Okay, let's check our ESCs. We're going to go ahead and flash them, so let's go ahead and flash them. These are going to automatically update right now, so we're good. So we're going to let that happen. All right, and then from here, we're going to jump into the music here in just a second. Now, Mike, I'm going to read this because there's something you said about straight wire. I have a couple of things. Check the motor direction. Motor direction we're going to change. Tell me. I assume it doesn't be there unit. The SMA cable is now on straight ones. I was wondering if you have the ones with the 90-degree ends. Well, Okay, so Mike, the one thing is though is that they've given you this. Hey, Robert. They've given you these because these are supposed to go on like this. These antennas should go on here. So you don't want to put 90-degree ones on here. You want these to go straight because these are long range. So I wouldn't do that if I were you unless you come out of here. But this is connected already to your DJI Air unit. So unless I can understand better what it is you're trying to do, I wouldn't say that putting a right angle on there is going to be a good idea at all. I'm sure I'm missing something, but just in case, that's all I just want to point out. Let's see what happens. Robert, it's going well, my man. We are working. We're in the grind. We're in the grind. Oh my God, and I still have 3 Yorkies that are driving me up. Oh, my wife is here. Ah, there she is. What up, Mama? Well, I've come say it. Come say hi, yeah. Come on, say hi to everybody. That's Mama.
Hi. My hair's looks a little
Yeah, you're looking awesome.
Sorry.
So what you got going on?
Nothing. I'm gonna go and load the car, but I'm gonna do
What
it
do you have?
on the front door. Just like all that stuff. I bought stuff for Cassie's.
You need me to help you pick it
No,
up?
no,
I can do that. They know. I told them I help
No,
you.
it's not much. It's not much.
You sure?
But I did talk to my dad, and so he wants to do something for. He wants to go to Louisiana for my birthday. So,
For gambling?
Yeah. So he wants me to look up rooms at La Verge or Golden Nugget and see if we can find him and Donna want to come.
Okay.
Go take us, I guess. Take
Okay.
me. So I told him I would look. We could
Okay.
leave Saturday morning and then come back Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
Just go for the night.
Whatever.
I told him I was like,
Kinda
we could
you're-
leave Friday night.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're crazy. All right, sorry guys.
All right.
Hey, Robert says hi, by the way.
Hi, Robert.
He says hi. All right. Hey, how you feeling about food?
I'm getting ready to make burgers.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Just asking, wasn't trying to say nothing. Okay, so we've done our ESC setup, right? So now here's what we're gonna do. Let's get ready to do the music part, okay? And try not to cook this air unit too much, but let's check this out. So first thing you want to do is we are going to remove this here, and we're going to write this. Dustin says hi. I'll tell everybody says hi. The wires coming out of the air unit going to the antennas. Yeah, they're going here though. So they're here, and then you would put this in. So I'm not sure. Like it's that's the way it's supposed to be. So I don't know. I'll have to get with you on that here in a little bit and figure it out, because I would not want to change the setup here unless you have a reason that you're changing it. This is the way it's designed, and it's designed like this for a good reason. So I would leave that unless there's a reason why you can't do it. All right. Anyway, we'll do this one first, and then I'll chat with you on that. That's not a big deal. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay. So let's go to our options here. And you see this right here. Make sure under option. Now we are starting the music part of this because it's going to be fun, right? So check this out. Sync. Make sure to go to options and sync startup music to multiple ESCs. So click that first, okay? Then come on over here and turn on your music editor. And the way this works, right, is that you have a keyboard. Let's say you have a piano key, and it's okay, and I'm really trying to simplify this because I'm not a music person, but I can't tell my parents that because they pay for me to do no music. Whatever, it was called, like your section of the keyboard, A4, C5, whatever all that crap is. Okay, so anyways, so I don't think I have my sound turned up here. I don't know. Let me see if I do. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. Volume says it's up. So if I was to put in a command here, let's say A5, that's A5, right? And then I want to do, like, for a duration of, let's say, a quarter note. I think that's right. And I click play, and I got no sound. Hold on a second. Music on, sorry. I still don't have sound. Why am I not getting any music? Hold on. Let me just figure out what I have going on here. Click apply. Oops. Wait, what is it? Writing note 1A. I don't think I did that wrong. I just got done doing this, and now here. Okay, so there's my note, right? So if I did A5 and then I go C5 1, okay, and I do this. Wait, what's wrong? Oh, you can't have lowercase. I mean, come on, guys, make it easy on me, would you? So those are your tones, right? So here's what I wrote. God help me, don't get pissed off, but I wrote this today for you, and you're probably not gonna like it. Everything's out of focus. It shouldn't be. Let's try it like that. I don't know if you can see better, but is it out of focus for everybody else, guys? I'm going to keep going, but if it's out of focus, please let me know. So I wrote this here. I spent an hour doing this because I don't know. I had to look at the keyboard the whole time and figure out how to. So here it goes. So I'm going to paste this here, and I'm going to say it goes to 14. That's for ESC1. Okay. Right. Okay. So, sorry. So that's ESC1. Okay. Now I believe. Let me apply this, and then if I do, on my music editor, I get to see all my ESCs, and I'm not sure why I'm only getting one at a time here, but that's fine. Let's just go to ESC2. And then what I did here is I wrote this part for you. So copy, and we're going to paste this. Music on, and this will be at a 15. Okay, and we're going to click apply. And let's go back to 1 and go to music editor, music on. I don't know why it took it off. Let me see, copy, paste, apply. Okay, let's write that. Oh, that's why. I didn't write it. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to, this interval needs to be 14. This is regarding the speed. Okay, so let me click apply and then click write. And then I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to go to, I'll show you in a second exactly what I've done here, which you're probably not going to like it, but hey, it is what it is. Let's do music on, and we're going to do 14. And we're going to click apply. And we're going to click write. And then we're going to go to motor 2, ESC2. And we're going to copy the longer verse here, which I wrote. You know what I mean. I didn't write it right, but and that's going to go to 15 because that has to play faster. And we're going to apply and write. And then we're going to go to motor 4, music editor, turn it on, paste, make sure it's at 15, apply and write. So here's what, okay, shut up, because this is like, it took me a while, okay? So here goes. I wonder if it'll let me play. Yeah, it'll play all the ESCs together. Okay, all right, so that's that. Okay, now why I can't see all my ESCs, I don't know, because I was able to see them on mine. Let me see. Okay, all right, shut up a second. Shut up, shut up, shut up. This has to go to 14. Apply and write. All right, so, and that is my club music. I apologize. That is my ringer. So let me go back and make some adjustments here, and then I think we're going to be good. If this thing would quit changing, apply, and then write. I don't know why it's changing my length here. I'll have to check on that one. Let me see. Beacon signal, beacon, 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 beacon. I think it shouldn't be doing that, but anyways. So here goes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this done. Let me see. So 1 works. Let me go ahead and change this. I'm sorry, guys. I want to get my interval fixed here, but for some reason, 14, stupid. Just do 14. Apply. Right. I don't know why it's switching back to 8. I'll have to check. And it's only motor 1 that's doing it. So what do I have wrong on motor 1? I don't think I have anything wrong on motor 1. I think this thing's just pissing me off. All right, let's go back here. And my script is good. Okay. Apply. Right. I'll fix it. I don't know why. So anyways, let's go ahead now, and we are going to disconnect although it's now going to sound really weird. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to work. Okay. God, that totally... Stop. Okay, so here we go. Thank you. So we're going to connect again, and we're going to turn off motor 1 real quick because it's pissing me off because I really worked hard on this. So hold on 1 second. And I'm going to go to my motor 1, and I'm going to tell it to turn the music off. Okay, apply, and I'm going to write. Oh, now it won't even stop. Apply. Well, now I'm just going to get pissed. I want to turn this off, but it won't let me. So let me see. Hey, shut it. Okay, I am excited. Let me delete that and then click apply, and there we go. Now, let's see if it'll just not. There we go. Okay, so here goes. Ready? So 2 should have music, 3 has music. Okay, now listen. Shh, here goes. Disconnect. Just listen. Huh? Right. So pretty stupid, I know. But now I'm going to power it off. That's my little music I wrote. And I'm going to power it back on. Just listen to it one more time. Okay. And the other, okay, so here's the kicker though. The kicker that really sucks is that the other 2 motors have the other part of the music playing. And why they don't want to play that right now is pissing me off. Oh, so this one. So this one should be here. And let's paste. And let's apply. And that should be 15. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't allow. You know what? I guess maybe it won't allow you to do that. It allows it in the program, but maybe not in the thing. Now I'm really pissed. So hold on a second because. No, that's right. Okay, so that's good. So let's go to number 4. And this one should have this. Paste with an interval of 15. Click apply and write it. Now the question is, I guess I was assuming that I could play different music and it won't do it. Okay, so it won't play different. Oh, that sucks because I had this part going next, right? So this is what played next. So there it goes. I was a little bummed out. I thought they would play simultaneously, but they don't. So there's that. But anyways, so as you can see, we've got it. I'm sorry, I have been sitting here forever with this, having fun, trying to put some music on there. I suck at coming up with music, but that's the best I could do. So anyways, as far as doing music though, guys, that's how you add music to your stuff. Real easy. I thought you could play different chords. I'm a little disappointed that you can't. But in either case, there you go. So that's it. Hope that helps. And what we'll do is I think to end this, what I'll do is I will put this one here, paste, and then we will add a space. And then we will add, and you could just make this however long you want. I mean, you don't want to make it super long, but I'm just doing this now just because I was having fun with it earlier. We will paste this here, and we will use this as 15, and we will apply it. Oh, you can't use it. Oh, look, here's all your ESCs now. Okay, well, I'm going to go play with this one now because now it's doing what I wanted. So, yeah, it was cool, I know. Hey, thank you. A award to me. So let's go and clean this crap up. Now, this is what I was waiting on. I don't know why I couldn't see it before, but what it should sound like is like this. Now I can show you guys. So one more second, please, while I show you this one. Let's apply. Let's edit. edit. Let's read. Okay, edit. And music on. And it should show, and we'll just call it a day. I'm not going to sit here and keep going crazy. Why doesn't it show me all my ESCs? I guess it doesn't want to. I don't know. Anyways, so that's that. I'm going to write that up. But anyways, so that's how you add music. Okay, that's enough of that. So as far as the quad goes, though, everything else looks good. All the testing is done. Mike, I will speak to you about the antenna issue that you're asking about. Other than that, there you go. This thing has been taken apart. Everything's been cleaned up, put back together, and your ESCs now are flashed and ready to go. Okay? Sorry. I got carried away with the music, guys. I know. It's an hour and 46 minutes of this. All I want to do is hear my damn Tom Hanks big movie song. Shut up, Robert. All right. Anyways, guys, listen, I'm going to go hang out with my wife now. So this quad's good to go. Mike, I will talk to you. I took all your tape off here. You need to watch the beginning of the video. Do not like electric tape on the motor wires because you can't see any damage to them. I will put some fabric tape on there for you, but still leave some of the wires exposed so you can see them. And if you have any other... thanks, Stephen. We will be back later, as you can see. Don't forget, we have this coming up. Let me show you. Oh, by the way, that's our engraving. So I put this on our DJI Air unit, which is basically like a Say No to Fat Shark thing. So I've got to hook this up for a customer later, so I'll be back here live in just a little bit. Other than that, guys, let's do this. Here. I hope you all really had a good July 4th. I will say this. I'm going to say this on every video from this point forward, at least some of it at least, okay? I will tell you this as well. I did spend the weekend listening to a bunch of morons on TV talk about how they weren't proud to be American. I want to tell you guys something from me personally, okay? And I'll let it go here. I wasn't born in the States. I was born in Beirut, Lebanon, which, as you know, and many of you know, there's wars and other things going on. And in August, there was a huge explosion that leveled most of the city of Beirut. What my point being, though, is I will tell you this. Since I wasn't born here, coming here was something big for my folks. My dad worked his ass off to get here. And he continues to work his ass off. And he made sure that we understood the value of everything, right? Living in Africa, living in Beirut, living all over the world, you come here and you realize how lucky you are to be here. And we are not only appreciative that this country let us come in here and the right way, though. My dad got his green card, did his testing and did everything. This is many years ago. But I will tell you this. For somebody that wasn't born here, though, and has seen the rest of the world and lived in pretty shitty areas, I will tell you firsthand that, like everybody says, or most people should say, this is the greatest country on earth, and it does have mistakes. But here's what kills me, is that you got people here that are just spoiled, rotten brats, unappreciative pieces of shit that don't understand how lucky they are to have what they have. And for those people, and if you are my customers, I don't want you to buy from me anymore. And I've come to this conclusion because I realize that if you don't appreciate this country, you don't appreciate everything that people have sacrificed, then I definitely don't want you to buy from me because I don't want your money. For everybody else, know where I stand. We support the police. We support our red, white, and blue. We back the blue, and we back all our troops. We support everybody because unless you've lived where I've lived, you have no idea how lucky like how bad it can be. And some of these kids don't. These little moron college kids now that run around and say they don't appreciate it, they're embarrassed to be Americans. I will tell you that I'll put up probably 20 grand of my own money and buy you a ticket to go to Beirut for a little bit. When you come back begging to be here, begging to see your flag again and to hear your anthem and to not kneel down, but to actually stand with pride because somebody gave their life so that you can do that, you'll appreciate it more, okay? Until then, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and just go back and realize that you can only talk the way you talk because you live in a country that allows you to say such idiotic things, all right? That's it. I won't go off any more than that, but I will tell you this. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very lucky to be here. I'm very fortunate. And as an Arab, I will tell you, as a guy that was born in an Arab territory, I will tell you this. I'm an American. I'm not an Arab American. I'm an American. And I will always be an American. And all these people that want to hyphenate their shit, I'll stand by this. You're an American or you're not an American. That's it. You're an American. Absorb it. Enjoy it. If you're not, there's planes leaving every day. Get on one of them and feel free to go. Let the rest of us enjoy this country and appreciate each other. Don't care what color you are, what gender you are. Just let us enjoy it, okay? Everybody else who doesn't like it, piss off, goodbye, kneel somewhere else. Go turn your back somewhere else. I don't need you here. All right, guys. Anyways, God bless, be safe, and most of all, go spend time with your family. You never know how much time you have left. Please make the most of it and enjoy them. Sorry for my little rant there, but I will tell you that's just my feelings on it. All right, guys, God bless. We'll see you soon later today. Peace.